All right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live Agent session. I'm your host for tonight's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage, and we're all happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with us as we close out the week and take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of in this Forex market. So, without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions. Grab a pen and paper, continue to take awesome notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage for tonight's session. If everybody can hear me loud and clear as usual, let's get that early participation going. Drop me all the ones in the chat, and we can fire this session up officially. All right. Okay, so let me make sure everybody has control of their microphone. Give me 1 second. Welcome to everybody who just joined us. Okay, and we are all ready to go. Miss Casey Jackson, how are you this evening?
I'm good. If I can unmute, how are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, we haven't had a chance to talk, but awesome interview the other night.
Thank you. Yeah. I thought it was really good. He shared a lot of good information.
Oh yeah. He did his thing. So awesome job as per usual. So we appreciate you. All right. So let me click out of this because we are going to hit these charts hard tonight as we close out the week. So the first thing we want to do is go over to the Forex factory and take a look. Core retail sales, right? So they came in right a little bit hot. So we might as well go right on over to trading economics, and you can see here, front page, right? It's been sitting there all day. U.S. retail sales unexpectedly recovered in August. Okay, so retail sales in the U.S. unexpectedly rose 0.3% in August, beating market expectations of no change. So if we go here to Forex Factory, you can see, right, we're expecting zero, right? No change, but that didn't happen. So check this out. Okay, no change, but following a downwardly revised 0.4% decline in July, sales at gasoline stations were down as gasoline prices fell, but spending surged on motor vehicles, restaurants, and at miscellaneous stores. Excluding gasoline, sales rose 0.8%. Right, so people are out and about. Okay, living their best lives. They're doing their thing. Despite inflation being high, we have to remember that we were locked down for 2 years. Okay, because of COVID. So, we're living in some pretty unique times, as we continue to say, and they're definitely unique times to trade through and to be hitting these charts. So that, because of that report, if you click over to investing.com, right, stock market has the sad face. All right, Dow tumbles as fears of a longer hawkish Fed policy bite. Okay, so we're looking at continued Fed hawkishness. I know the market is driven on fear, driven on optimism, but hey, the bottom line is that there are some sectors where it seems like inflation may seem to be peaking. But at the end of the day, we are still well above that 2 to 3% target that the Fed likes to keep inflation. So we are still up there. So there's still more work to be done by the Fed, unloading the balance sheet, tightening, interest rate hikes, you name it, is coming. So anytime we get data like we had today with U.S. retail sales, that just continues to build the case for the Fed to continue to hike interest rates aggressively. So we all saw the fallout from that. U.S. futures fall on FedEx warning. So companies, right, they're having their challenges. We can see here, right? So, hey, we're like, look, we're tired of these interest rates going up. When you look at Argentina, they just rose interest rates to 75%. All right, so we're ways away from that. So definitely grateful. So 75% is where we're at in Argentina right now. And then again, New Zealand business PMI is at a 1-year high. So we will hit these charts pretty hard. Tonight, we're going to go through a bunch of pairs as we close out the week. So let's get things going. We will, before I go, any questions on the fundamentals at all? Okay, it's pretty clear where the challenges are, right? Inflation is center stage, and it's going to stay that way throughout the year and into next year as well. Okay, so let's go over, take a look at the dollar. We know that we got that spike in the dollar, but ever since, we know either we get a huge move in the dollar because the CPI report that came out, that you start to get to push sideways. Okay, it's starting to push sideways. Coming in, we're moving down, coming into the Asian session, but it's still just in a range right now. So we've got that equilibrium. So it's gonna break out at some point. Okay, maybe right. We're forming a bit of a double top in this area around this daily resistance level. So we'll continue to keep a close eye on the dollar, but we know long term, right? Dollar bullishness will continue. Just when we have our corrections, how far is it going to correct and how does it play until the dollar crosses? All right. So that's the US dollar. We know on a daily that we hit an extension. We hit that a while ago. And we know, right? When we hit 127 zones, key areas, key extensions, you get that sideways movement, right? It's an exhaustion point. Decisions are going to have to be made. Again, we continue to look at the highest level since January 27, 2002 is right here. Okay. So that dollar is continuing to climb, right? Beautiful. Look at the break. Okay. When we look at the weekly, look at the break and the retest at this level. Right? Past resistance becoming future support, and then it just took off. Okay. So here's the level that it just broke. So this is what we call, right, in the course where you score a point and you pull back. Price likes to break a level, crash through a level, and pull back to retest that level. We've crashed through this level, so it's just a matter of, does it want to push higher, retest, right, this previous weekly high before it pulls back and retests the level of resistance that it just broke and tested as support, right? We've got to pull back initially, but we'll see if we get that more of a bullish push before moving down. So just continue to keep an eye on that, but overall bullish on the dollar. Like if you come down to the 4, you can start to see, right? We're struggling a little bit, right, to move up. Okay, so we're in that zone. We're in that zone. We know support and resistance is just not a line. It's a zone. Okay, it's a zone. So it's going to hover. You can see here on the 1. Okay. Similar price action from that explosive move. Okay, as we zoom in, but you can see that target zone. All right, so we'll see if it pushes all the way back up to test that resistance at some point. So that is the dollar. Any questions on the DXY in general? Nope. Good. All right. Hold on 1 second. Have some other folks join us. Make sure you have control over your microphone, and we'll keep it moving. Okay. Mr. Carthage, good evening, sir.
My brother. Good evening, man. How you doing? What's up, everybody?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. It's Thursday.
It's Thursday, man.
It's Thursday, right? Which means tomorrow is Friday. So I'm good. I am good. So let's anything you've heard. I know there's some things going on with oil, right? Taper fell off a bit. Where was that report? Did it move out already?
Yeah, so there was an issue with rail workers potentially striking.
Oh yeah, I did hear
and
about
they were
that.
anticipating that causing a demand issue. But this morning they reached a tentative deal. They haven't fully agreed on it yet, but it was announced they kind of agree in terms, if you will, to a deal. So that kind of reversed the original thought of a potential demand issue. So that kind of pulled things back from where they might have been headed.
Got it. I did hear about this morning on one of the shows that I listened to. I didn't hear all the details, but man, that could have been a big mess.
It definitely could have been.
Man, when you talk about supply chain and everything like that, the president had something to do with that, right? And his staff help him reach that agreement.
He made a statement yesterday regarding it. Yeah, and then surprisingly they come to a deal today. So
okay. All right, let's rock it out. Let's see here. Okay, JC, done that. Destiny, David. All right, we are ready to go. Got the crew here. So let's go through these Aussies, right? We're gonna go as many pairs as possible as we close out the week because the markets are moving pretty good. All right. So it's always direction first, trying to get that directional bias. And we know, right, what these Aussies are looking like. So look at the Aussie cat, everybody, from the monthly. We'll drop it down to the weekly. Okay. So we have been for the most part bearish, right? We're trying to come in kind of neutral to bearish this week. But when we go to the daily, we are looking to short, right? That Aussie cat. Okay. Now it's going to take its time, but we are overall bearish, right? On this Aussie cat, right? A, B, C, right? We pull back. Beautiful, beautiful C to D pushes on now. Okay, you're going to have the periods where it moves sideways, especially if that oil price continues to drop for whatever reason, and if the Aussie is weak, right? Commodity currency gets weak because of the situation with the Fed and interest rates, then you may get some sideways movement, but overall we are bearish. So we want to make sure that we do our best to establish our directional bias for the most part, but long term to the downside. So if we come into the 4, right, and we zoom out, as choppy as it has been, right, it has just started, it's grinding to the downside. There are definitely some cleaner moves out there, but overall bearish on the Aussie cat. Now, we were looking at this last night at that break of 88.77, and we got it to the downside. So this on a 1 hour has been nice, right? We got that initial move, but when we get those huge candles, we could never be surprised if the market pushes sideways for a while after that before determining which direction it wants to go next in the short term. So we are still bearish down through the time frames, bearish to neutral, because you can see we've got this sideways push. So I'm looking to stay bearish ultimately on this 1 hour fib from where it's at now to its respective the extension. On your 1 hour, you got a 786 retracement, so we expect a 127 the extension, so close to another 80 pips on that. All right, so we are looking to stay bearish on the Aussie CAD. Okay, so I am interested to see how these commodity currencies fare as we, draw closer to the Fed hike, U.S. Fed hike, and then moving forward with some of these other central banks trying to play catch up when it comes to the hawkishness from the Fed. Okay. Any questions on the Aussie CAD? Okay. Nope.
No, sir.
All right. So one of these things when we go through the charts like this, take a look at them, right? Take a screenshot if you have to see, go back and watch the video. Are my charts in the same direction? If not, why? And if you happen to pick up on that during the session, make sure you give us some feedback and let us know what you're thinking, right? That's how we all learn. Okay, it's a continuous learning process. Okay, so we are moving bearish. And so let's go and take a look at the Aussie Swiss. All right, come on out to this this weekly chart, and we can see this week we have been extremely bearish. We shot through that 65.09, and now we're coming in at 64.13 support. Okay, doesn't have to be hard. We're making lower lows and lower highs coming into support. So now we're going to see how price responds. We can see right here. Okay, not too distant past. This is where price held and price reversed, not only here, but also here. Okay, so we're coming into a key level at the 64.13. So we will be watching that closely. Now, if we look at this, right, this has been a crazy ride, moving up. But look, we're going to play this bearish going down to the lower time frames. But you're technically, when I redid these charts and ran the fib, right, because I've been so bearish on it moving to the downside, I'm like, man, on the daily, it's actually still right within an AB boundary, and we're coming into this key level here at 64.13. So we'll continue to see if we really start to shift more towards that risk off and the more concerns and the Swissy stays strong as a safe haven, I do expect it to continue to the downside. Okay, but it's ran quite a ways. Okay, that's a deep retracement, then a sideways move. Some people would say, hey, this can be considered a bearish head and shoulders here. All right, depending on how you see the market. Okay, like so. And hey, maybe we move on and we're going to take out that A eventually. All right, so maybe this push down to the 64.13 weekly level will lend to a correction and then a continuation down. So we'll see how that plays out, but I'm definitely bearish overall based on that last impulse move. Okay, we have a new AB boundary. Okay, on your 4. So let me zoom out here. Okay, you can see where we've got a brand new down AB boundary. So we look for the game to continue. So this is where you have the possible correction play coming in. So just price action and structure, we've got support, weekly support, that key level that we've identified from the higher time frames is 64.13. All right, now we've gotten a shallow retracement, and now price is coming into this level, starting to push sideways a bit. So we may get the reaction, okay, back to the long side on this play, if that level holds. And once we get that high price, okay, we can look to short. Okay? And we'll continue to watch the overall sentiment closely, right, in the coming days and weeks ahead on that. But bearish, so we are in a down potential retracement zone, a down retracement zone. Everybody follow me, drop me into in the chat if we're clear on that. Awesome. Okay, so it's doing its thing. If you come here and you look at it from the 1, we've got the smaller wave, and you can see that all roads leads to 64.13. Okay, we've got a 38.2 there, coming into that 118, 127 zone. We're waiting to see a reaction. Be patient. Don't short now. Don't short now. Just be patient and wait to see if we get a reversal on that. Okay, because if you do get a reaction, it could be pretty strong. Then we start looking for trend line breaks and decide if we want to play a swing to the upside, to the counter. But we'll wait. We'll wait on that. All right, so that is the Aussie Swiss. Okay, let's take a look at this Aussie yen. Okay. Okay. We know when it comes to monetary policy, we see it in the reverse, right? The yen has been fairly weak, but it comes a point, okay, where you get to key levels and you may have some profit taking that may occur. Okay, we know we've been talking about Japan, possible intervention, intervening on the currency because it has weakened so much, putting a lot of pressure on consumers. All right, so let's see what happens. We've got 97.28. We've got a reaction there. Okay, we're starting to get a reaction at that 97.28 level. Okay, so we'll see. We're just shy from the weekly. We're just shy of a 382. Maybe we correct back down, right? Either back down to 90.67, or as we move to the lower time frames, we may find some key levels of support that it may reach first before deciding whether or not it wants to continue to the upside. But if we come to the daily, you can see it coming out of this zone, right? See it starting to push down. Okay, starting to push down. So if I'm looking at this, it's just a level to target, right? So we pointed out that 90.67 as a ways away, but we've got a daily level here at 94.75. Okay, where price may settle and we may get a reaction. But right now, it broke through 96.15 and we are moving down. So if you're newer to the group, you can see that we'll draw these charts up. Sometimes they take a while, right? We don't control the time. All right, we don't control the time. The only thing that we can control is ourselves. All right, so that's a new high there. Okay, we've got a new high of resistance, and now that's moving down. Okay, we're getting a reaction. right, with this Aussie yen to the downside. So already coming out of that 118, 127 zone, right, over 200 pips. Now, we have gotten, right, a 382 pullback on the daily, right? So this may just be that correction. Maybe the correction that everybody's been looking for with the yen. Maybe it comes to this level and then continues to move to the upside. We don't know, but right now, right, we're finding it short. Okay? Now, if you come down here, I took the up fibs off because I'm looking to go short and looking for a continuation. But these targets are coming off the fib that I drew to the upside. So let me throw that back in there so people can see, right, what we're looking at. All right, so look, if you look at your 4, okay, you've had an 80-20. The 80-20 that we talk about, very powerful level, shallow retracement. Okay. Didn't get a 382 in that first push. Price broke the B boundary, pushed right up to that 118, 127 zone, and it got short. So you're at target 1. Okay. So we'll see how price wants, if it wants to pull back and then continue down to target 2. Okay, but that's that 96.15 level. If it's going to seek out, right, those daily levels, support levels, there's 94.75 at target 2, and then 93.07. That's going to be a boundary. Okay. So that's been a pretty strong play. It seems like we know it takes forever. Okay, it takes forever, but ultimately, price eventually makes its move. Okay, so that's your Aussie in there. This is what it looks like on the 1. That's a beautiful pullback. Okay? That's a beautiful pullback into that 61.8 zone. Okay, again, there's that break at 96.15 support. So we know score point, pull back. Okay, that may be what it's setting up to do, but that's all right. We're looking at this target here. Okay? That should be extension on the 1. Okay, so that kind of falls in line with that downward movement and these lower level targets. So we'll take this down to the 1. We'll take that down to the 1. That. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if we get the target 2, it'll be right around that D extension on your 1. Any questions on the Aussie yen?
No, sir. Beautiful move.
Yep, that was a beautiful move. The symmetry was very, very nice on that. Okay, it didn't play any games once it got going out that 1 or that 127 zone, right? That 80-20. It's nice. Okay, so we'll see if we can get that continuation to the downside. If you're in it, hey, just manage your trade. Okay, sometimes when you get the target 1, you might want to take a percentage off. Okay, if you do that, fine. Maybe you've got 2 trades running initially out of the zone at this 98.50 level. Maybe you got 2 trades running, one for TP1 and one for TP2. Okay. Different ways you can set that up, but that's been a nice move. All right, there's no questions. I am going to move on to this Aussie NZD. Okay. All right, so let's look at it from the weekly. All right, we're getting to some levels. Getting to some key levels to where we can see corrections. Now we've broken this level here. This high has broken. Okay, and it's continuing to push. You see that? Okay. So now it's just a matter of it's getting pretty high. Does price want to correct? So if we come to the daily, we've got a classic 80-20 that could potentially be setting up. All right, we're coming into that zone. Right, we've got a shallow retracement and we broke the B boundary. It may not get to that 118, 127 before it reverses. We got a stochastic that's overbought, and right, we kind of had this double top situation going on. It's respecting this 112.52 daily resistance level. All right, so this is one that I've got my eye on here because I would love for that to start to fall. I would love for that double top to hold and to get moving to the downside, right? Because look, on the 4, we have a new AB boundary. Right underneath there is that double top scenario. Okay. So if it holds, we may see that drop, okay, to that 382 target. All right, first 111.81 that it broke, and then back down to this 111.32, where it danced around a little bit, and that puts you right in line with that 382. All right, so we want to keep an eye on this to see if that level is going to hold. Okay. Any questions on the Aussie New Zealand?
No, sir.
Nope.
Tons of opportunity on that one.
For sure, right? Definitely if it holds. So it's kind of on the one I'm watching, it's kind of riding that trend line right now. And it's just multiple times it's knocked at the door here. All right, so just waiting patiently on that to see if it wants to retest it one more time. And just consolidation right now, a bit of a range on that. So continue to watch that. The Aussie dollar, okay, working from the top down, weekly. Look at that. Okay. Remember a while ago, Jeremy said, hey, man, put that fib on the weekly. Take a look at it. All right. Look at it coming down. We're at support, 66.79. I'd say, right, and maybe you all agree with me, I hope, this is a key level. This is key, right? We break this 66.79, we're just going to keep going, right? We're just going to keep falling, right? So if we come into weekly, look at support. Nothing there from the weekly. Of course, when we go down to the lower time frames, we'll catch some levels. But this is key, right? Is retesting this area again. So if we get to the daily, and we're right back at that level, but it's just been taking its time, moving on down, right? Moving on down the road here. Now we've got a 118 D extension for the daily based on this correction. A, B, C, 8.6 level. We expect a 1.18 D extension. I say if we can get a break at this 679, that's in play. Okay, that's in play. Okay, over 500 pips away. So if you haven't been involved in this to the downside at any point in time, if this level breaks, okay, especially if this stochastic works its way back up into the sell zone, we get a break and a retest. We're looking for that 118 extension at that point. All right, so here's the 4. Beautiful 4-hour play. Broke daily support. Became resistance in the zone. We didn't get that crown that we were looking for. All right, didn't get it, at least yet. Okay, at least yet. So we had it drawn up like that. We don't have it yet, but it may still work its way up. Maybe not. Okay, but here is the 4-hour D extension. Okay, that's your 4-hour D extension right there. Here's 66.79. So you're starting to get a little bit of a bounce there. So maybe it does pull back. Okay, maybe it does pull back and then continues to fall. But overall, we are short. If it does pull back to this level, somewhere around here, definitely going to look to add to the position on the Aussie dollar. Okay, any questions? And this is your 1-hour look here. You see we're getting that reaction. That's a 1-hour 80-20. Okay. All right. We're good on that? Everybody clear? Because what I had to do when I started trading, and I would constantly look at the charts and stare at the charts. And then I would get to the end of a month or end of a quarter, and I'd be like, man, I was marking up all these charts. I was on here every day, every week, every month. And for some reason, I don't think I'm making as much money as I should. Why? Okay. Why did I see right? That this Aussie dollar, long time ago, was going to get short, and it came into my zone. Why didn't I go short? And maybe it's just me. Maybe,
Nope.
that was my experience.
That was mine too.
Yeah.
It was mine too.
Yeah. I would get on the rituals used to be on Fridays with the chief, and I would get on the ritual week after week, and I wasn't making the money that I wanted to make. But I saw the price action hitting the zones and going in the direction that we thought. But oftentimes, I wasn't in the setup. Right? And there were some things that I found out. The number one thing was, especially early, I was trying to be too perfect with my entry. Instead of just paying attention to the zone. But the reason why I was trying to be so perfect with my entry is because my risk management was horrible and I was trying to hit the lottery. So I was trying to time it because I didn't believe in trading small. And because I was trying to time it, I would look at it like, oh, not yet. But then by the time I made my way back to it, it fell 100 pips or so. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll wait on the pullback. And then I'm hesitant because I'm like, well, what if I get a deeper pullback? Because again, I was trying to be perfect. So then I didn't take it. So then I was in straight freeze mode. 550 pips later, I'm sitting on the Friday ritual. And everybody's like, yeah, I was in that setup. That was great. But I wasn't. Yeah. That's just like, that was just my experience. That was just one of the psychological things that I had to work through. And there's times when it still creeps in. And I called Ryan. Oh, can you believe I took profit on that Euro GDP? Like, what?
We were just talking about it.
Yeah, man. I closed it out. I closed it out. Like, what? What do you mean you closed it out? I did, man. It was looking good. I was up pretty big. I closed it out.
Don't be talking about me, Benny. Don't you be talking about me.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Joe, you talking about me too, because I closed mine too.
Look, I was just saying the D extension was only 12 yards away. It was almost there.
But
I made it up on another pair.
That's good. That's right. See, we learn and we develop as traders, but it takes time, right? Even though we've been talking about that Euro GBP hitting that daily 382 pretty much since we started.
Man.
And it's just part of the maturing process as a trader. Like, man, it didn't take out my A. It has no choice but to go my way, and it's going my way, and I still didn't stay in the trade. And I could have reduced it. I just hit the X and closed it. Bam, out. Right? Mm-hmm. So, it starts creeping in, right? You see it correct, and you start thinking like, man, Putin is a bad dude. He said it's going to be a cold winter in Europe. I'm going to take my money. All right. So, hey, just my thought process, some things that I go through, and maybe some people can relate to. But this is the Aussie dollar, right? Down. There's the target right there. And it's hard when you're looking at this, even though you tell yourself, this is my protective stop. And I've already worked out my risk management. And I'm going to trade small. I'm going to scale in as it goes. It's hard to really believe that when you can't see the price action ahead of time, when you can't tell the future. That's why risk management is important. Risk management is important. There's people that's in a demo right now that pull out of trades. It's not even real money. That's how this game plays tricks on your mind. Think about that. You can't even really lose the money, and you get out the position. Anyway, so that's the Aussie dollar. Those are the Aussie pairs. Overall bearish on the Aussie dollar. All right. So we're gonna go to the CAD Swissy. Ryan, I know you've been holding this one.
Yeah, man. Yep. My entry on this one was 74507.
74507. Hey. 74507. 74507. Let's take a look at that. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. And we just broke 7291. Congratulations, right? I'm gonna drop you some sevens in the chat. Hold on 1 second. Let me drop Ryan. Let me go to everybody. I'm gonna drop Ryan some sevens in the chat. Bam. All right. Congratulations, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that's a beautiful setup. Appreciate it, everybody. All right, now, so let's go. Right, this has just been a long, drawn out. This is the longest C to D move in the history of the ABCD waves because it is the CAD Swiss. But we just move to real time and we play it the best that we can. And this has been short. All right, we got that circle. Look at that. It's a double top, boom, and it's moving down. Okay, so we broke 72.87, got the volume to move to the downside. We're back in the buy zone. It's exhausted. So maybe eventually we get that pullback and then a continuation down. And that's where we could come to our lower time frames and just track this thing. Look at that 50% pullback, right? There's that double top off of monthly 78.06. And now look, we've broken it. Now we're looking for pullbacks and continuations. Pullbacks and continuations to the downside. So we are, of course, bearish. Okay. We are bearish. There we go. So if we come out here and we take a look at the one, ooh, I saw it. I watched the training videos. I saw this pull back to the sell zone, the 61.8. Okay. And right, the extra confirmation with the daily, right, resistance, support becoming future resistance. And I just looked at it drop. I just looked at it drop. I didn't take the trade. Didn't take it in my demo account. Didn't take it in my live account. I'm trading micros, which that is A-OK. Micros add up. Okay. You trade those micros and get consistent and see what happens in 3 to 5 years. All right. So there it is. There's the pullback. Right. Even if we want an extra confirmation. Okay, and we wanted to wait on the trend line break. That's clean. Okay. Now we're looking at moving to this D extension. Okay. 80 pips away. So we know that something crazy happens fundamentally. It's not just going to drop. It's going to move in waves, score point, pullback. Okay, so that's what we're looking for now. So we're looking for a pullback and a continuation. Any questions on the CASs?
Hey, Benny, can you drop the cloud on that phone, please?
I can.
Look at your trend line break in the cloud and where that break came.
Okay. Yep, I can definitely do that. Hold on. Talk about confirmation.
Look
at that. It's beautiful.
That was my interest.
It's beautiful, man. Awesome price action. Great setup, Ryan. Right. So congrats to you and anybody else that might have taken that setup. Okay. There it is. Seeing it over and over and over again. Watching the film over and over and over again. That's what you have to do. Okay. No elevators to success. Take the stairs. You'll appreciate it a lot more once you get to the top. Okay. That's the CAD Swissy. Any questions? We're going to keep it moving. All right. Let's go to the CAD yen. Okay. Woo. Look at that. Patience pays. Right. Let price do its thing. There's the weekly. We hit a weekly D extension. Okay. Reacted right away at the level 109.63 zone. We come to the daily, crack the D extension. Okay. Hit a D extension on the daily. Crazy impulsive moves against the yen. Okay. Crazy impulsive moves. So this is where we are. We're coming to the support at 107.63. We talked about this, right? We don't know if everything's ready to get super, super weak against the yen yet to where price just collapses like we've seen with yen crosses in the past. We know that, hey, if we get that intervention, you can see something like that. No doubt. Okay. No doubt. So we wanted to see, right? Past resistance becomes future support at 107.63. So we're moving down. So we'll just continue to watch it closely to see if we get a reaction. But out of that zone, okay, out of that zone, wow, almost 260 pips out of the zone to the downside. Okay, so if we come to our 4, okay, we know that this is on its way. Okay, it's in the middle of a C to D push zone. Okay, so look, see how price came down and double bottomed right around that 50% zone and then it pushed up. So technically, this cycle, this 4-hour wave isn't complete yet. We're expecting 1.618 extension. But higher time frames control the lower time frames. And we know we've got D extensions hit on the weekly. We know we've got D extensions hit on the daily. So sometimes you don't get, if it's time for a major, major correction because of those higher time frame extensions got hit, right? You may not see that get hit. You might not. It might just continue through. That's why this 107.63 is so important, to see if it holds, right? To see if it holds, because then it may continue depending on where the momentum is at, what we're looking like fundamentally as we move into next week, right? In the days ahead, it may hold and then continue to finish this out. So what that creates on your daily, right, is just, this should be a new fib by now, right? Okay, should be a new fib looking something like this, not fired up, right? That should look something like that. But if it holds it at 107.63 and then continues to get long, then we're just looking at, right, the 80-20 scenario like that. Okay, if that's what it wants to do. So that's why we say, hey, this 107.63 is pretty important level. Okay, so if you're in it short, manage your trade, manage your trade. That is the CAD yen. That's the look on the 1 hour. Look at it breaking trend lines. Trend line break, pull back, got a 50% on that just in the sell zone. 4-hour resistance, 109.12, and then a push down. And here we are in that zone that we've been talking about, inner to outer trend line. All right, that's the CAD yen. Let's take a look at the Swiss yen. All right. This one has been quite a ride as well. Pulsive move, Ryan, you were spot on with that. Man, it's gonna break and it's gonna go to the 118, 127 on the weekly. And we're getting a reaction there, right? Look at the wick on that candle. So there we go. Now look, look at where we are. We zoom out on our daily. We are overbought on the daily, and it just missed that D extension. And we're trying to form that swing high here, okay? This is the all-time high. It's 150.65. It broke the prior. I think it was 143 or something like that. Broke through it. So this is where we are. So we're just shy of that D extension. Okay, within range of completion. We have a shallow retracement. Look, less than the 382. Price didn't get to that 382. Ran into weekly support at 137.18. Look at it. All right, look at where it's sitting. Okay. So I would like to see price, of course, go ahead and continue down. Go ahead and continue down. We're already in the sell zone. If we come to the 4, look at how it's stalling, right? Can't make this stuff up. Look at how it's just stalling right here. Okay. So let's see what it does, right? Let's see what it does. Look at the 1. It's already broken and pulled back. Look at the end of trend line break. Look at that. Okay. So this is going to be an interesting one. See if we can get a pullback and a continuation down. Okay. But we would love to see that continue to fall bearish. Right? Look at the swing, right? Remember when we dropped that down AB boundary? What was that early? What was that, Tuesday, Ryan? Tuesday, was it last night?
No, we looked at this one this morning on that pullback.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're looking at that one this morning.
Yeah. But look at that beautiful swing there. Look, even on your fibs and your smaller ways, AB boundary, shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone. Look at the reaction. Found some momentum, and then it got short. Okay. So we'll see if this continues short. So we are technically in an up retracement zone potentially. Okay. Things are starting to line up. Any questions on the Swiss yen?
Last night, actually, I think you dropped that down fib on because I had the fibs on it to the upside. Okay. Last night or Tuesday?
I think it might have been Tuesday. I think it might have been after that CPI data where we saw those huge impulse moves and then price settled.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, like on the Aussie dollar and all that stuff. So yeah, so this is it. This is it, everybody. Same thing over and over and over again. All right, gotta practice. So ask yourself, right? I know what an 80-20 looks like. If I saw this on the 4 and I didn't play it, right? And you may have and you may not. If you didn't, why? If you did, why? You have to ask yourself those questions. Okay? Because another thing that I found out early in the game, besides the fact that I had horrendous risk management, I was trying to live that Lambo lifestyle, even though none of my kids are fitting it. Right? One of the things that I found out was that I was scared to lose. Not a good loser. Right? And I still have those moments. So that was also one of the things that, right, I had to work on. Still working on. Didn't take the setup because what if I lose? Think about that. That's the Swiss yen. Any questions?
No, sir.
Because I was just worried about that one trade, and that one trade was all that mattered. Not a series of trades, and not trading over time, over a month, over a quarter, right? That wasn't my thought process. It was that one trade, that was it. The be all, the end all. Okay. All right, so let's dive into these euros. Woo, man, a month ago, the euros coming into some lows.
Man.
Regardless of what we know what the fundamentals say, but man, those euro pairs are coming into some low prices. Okay. It's a double bottom at the 143.19. Looks like prices go double bottom. It's the potential. That's all we can do. Double bottom. Bang, bang. Okay. Weekly, price is moving up. Off that level, okay, we got price to move up, goes 600 pips. Okay. Daily, woo. Double bottom becomes a little bit more clear in that zone. Okay. Those of you that have been with us for a while, we saw it. We saw it. We saw it. Hey, not only that, I don't have a 382 yet. Okay. Does that always happen? Nope. Oftentimes, right? Price likes to gravitate towards that 382. So we've got a double bottom. Price shot up. We're above this 148.03. Euro bullish. Okay. Commodities start to get hammered. Okay. Things start to tighten. Most commodities are traded, pretty much all of them, US dollars. Ooh, that dollar is expensive. So if I've got to exchange my currency from my country, from my native country, to buy commodities, I've got to exchange it to US dollars. And right now, I'm not getting the most bang for my buck. If I'm a corporation, I'm looking to expand. If I'm looking to build, maybe I want to wait a little bit, tighten my belt a little bit. It's expensive. You'll see those commodities, less demand causes those commodities to fall. Okay, so here it is, right? Put that gray bar, that gray rectangle there for a long time, and it bounced around and it acted all crazy. But you say to yourself, man, I worked out my risk management just like they told me to, and I put my stop right below that low. And even though price bounced around for a week, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, right? It never hit my stop. Why did I get out the trade? I wasn't over leveraged. I risked 1/4%, 0.5%, maybe even 1%. I wasn't over leveraged. It didn't time my account up. It wouldn't time my account up and taking me from other opportunities in the market. Why? Why did I get out the trade? Okay. Why did I get out the trade? Okay. Ask yourself. So we're bullish. Okay. We are bullish. Took out the A. This 1 hour downfield. Boom, swing. Okay. B2C move. This was a B2C swing right here, right? It's always the downfield that brings us to the reversal. TP1, TP2, and TP3 gone. This is bullish. This is long right now. Here's the D extension. Okay. So we're going to continue to this daily 382. We still have a ways. So what I'm going to look for are potential opportunities. Not going to buy right now, but what I will do is I'll let this reset itself. I'll let it reset, hit the D extension, give me a new AB boundary, and if I get that correction, I will try to take advantage to get long to the 382. Set my risk management. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. Okay. That's the Euro Aussie moving bullish. Any questions on the Euro Aussie?
No, sir.
No. Anybody in the Euro Aussie?
Yes,
it is a beautiful move. It is.
I'm still sitting.
Mary. Ryan's still sitting in it. Mary's still sitting in it. You drop y'all some 7. Man. Great work. Drop y'all some 7s. That's good. That's good. And it doesn't matter if you're in a demo, if you're trading 1 micro lot, 1 mini lot, 1 standard lot, doesn't matter. It's your journey. Ryan says that all the time. All right. Awesome job. So that is the Euro Aussie. Let's take a look at the Euro CAD. Euro's tanking. All right. Euro's tanking. Coming into some all-time lows. Maybe right for price to reverse. Never know for sure. But you know what? I don't have a 382 yet. Price is stalling. Okay. Price is stalling. I get my confirmations. If it hits my levels, ooh, I got an 80-20 on the 4. I know it's a mess. It is, but it's in my zone. So I'm going to drop me 20 cents in there, 30 cents, 10 cents in there. I got my stop. My management's good. Just throw it in there and see what happens. Go find something to do. But we're starting to get that move. So the whole key in this, right, is do we break above this 132.75 weekly level? If we do, we're gonna hit that 382. That's the daily. See that? And then if it wants to progress on your 4, right? 382 on a 4, 61.8. Okay, so we're bullish on this Euro CAD right now. You're gonna come into that daily 382 before you hit a 4-hour. Okay, so we have it marked like that. Look at your 1. Okay, see that TP there on the short term on the 1? Why? We got an A6 pullback. Boom. Okay, coming into that TP1 on the 1 hour. Okay, you limit in off your 61.8. Bang, almost 200 pips. If you had another limit order, it's your 786. Boom, 238 pips or so. Same stuff over and over again. Takes a while. Okay, takes a while. Any questions on the EuroCAD?
The other thing on this, some benefit from a higher time frame perspective that gave us some more confluence. It was an 80-20 on the weekly.
Oh yeah.
An extra level.
Yeah. I can't remember which how did we take it. I think because I had it on here for the longest time.
I think it was off the over to the right, off the double top.
Off the double top, right? Okay. There we go. Man.
There's the extra level of confluence from a higher time frame.
And even if you don't take it right out of that zone, right? You've got time. This is a key level, right? So if I didn't have any fibs or anything on here, I just know, look, we're coming into some major lows. If I get a break from a weekly chart perspective, if I get a break above 132.75 and it resets, I'm gonna get long. So you still got time. It's on, right? So it takes a while. So we're just swinging. We're just swing trading, right? That's what we're doing. That's all we're doing, right? And if you have a super busy lifestyle, it might be the style for you. You might not have time to sit at your computer, right? Try to catch that quick 10 or 20. Okay. All right. So that's the Euro CAD. Take a look at this Euro Swissy. Ooh, right. So we've gone beyond that crown pattern now. Okay. That finished out a long time ago. It's a beautiful move. Okay. Beautiful move off the weekly. We went beyond that low. We created a new low. And now we're just stalling a bit. Okay. So if I come up to my daily, we've been making ABCD waves all the way down. Okay. We've got a shallow retracement here. 80-20, we're at the 118 and we're double bottom. We got a double bottom. And we got a stochastic in the buy zone. Nice little wick action here. Prior day, we got rejection. See it there? So this is one that's going to be interesting because it may be time for this to reverse now. Okay. Maybe time for it to reverse. So here's the 4-hour. Okay. We expected the extension, but we're at this low and we've double bottomed. So if it's time to reverse based on a higher time frame, it might just be time to reverse. We may not see that. So this level is key. So what I would do is, here's the 4-hour fib. It's been a beautiful reversal out of the zone. Clean, broke inner outer trend line. Now, if it's time for this to reverse, if I get this break of this trend line like this, okay, it's just me now. Okay? Because I know I'm still in the middle of a sequence. All right? And I know that Swissy, even though the euro is gaining some strength, that Swissy has been playing the safe haven role. So it's been pretty strong against other crosses. So what I'll wait for, okay, give me a break, take out some highs and pull back. Okay, pull back to me a little bit. Then I'll probably look to take a shot. Right? And if it gets long, I'm good. If not, it may just be ready to go to that D extension, right, on the 4. And then we'll revisit it. but that's the Euro Swiss. We're into some lows and we've got a double bottom here. Questions? No.
No, sir.
Good. All right. All right. So Euro GBP, and listen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Clean up a bit. And we rocking, right? We rocking. You guys are on these charts so much you can see the wave now. Okay. You see the wave off the low. All right. Boom. What is that? 88.45 weekly. Okay. So now come to the daily. All this time doing the dance. Okay. All this time doing the dance. Now look, here's that daily D extension, right in line with that daily 382. All right. So we're trying to continue and break through this 87.21. It's a monthly level. See right here where it reacted the last time? Okay, so you always got to be aware of that. But it's trying to push through and do its thing. But if you come down here to the 4, there we go. Now, man, no reason to get out of that. Should just reduce the trade. Okay, no reason, just reduce it. We may even get a push down here. But here's your D extension. It's close. That's a lot of good movement, all right, for the Euro GBP. But look at the ABCD move. Yes, it gets crazy, right? It gets crazy at times. But look, it is still, right? It is still moving in the ABCD sequence. Sometimes we get confused and caught in the weeds a little bit on the price action. Let's move. Okay. Questions, comments on the Euro GBP? Anybody in it? Anybody holding it?
I did catch a re-entry off the break back above the cloud after that pullback.
Congratulations.
So that's a profit on it.
Job well done. Joy just closed. So you're in it. So you're gonna hold it to that D extension, and you're going to that 38.2, right?
I'm going to 38.2.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. So you can adjust this trend line on the one, right? That we just took out because it made a higher high. So that looks like that now. All right. So we're good. That's the Euro GBP. There's no questions. I'll keep it moving. All right. There it is. It's doing its thing. All right. So yeah, we may see a correction. Got a 1 hour D extension monthly level. May see it correct again. All right.
Yeah, my thought is if we break that 87.215, right? I'm looking for then a retest and a continuation.
Retest and continuation.
Yeah, if we break that level up.
It's on here. I can dig it because we know we've got that weekly extension that's higher than that, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Euro JPY. All right. Look at where we're at. Oops. So I'll put my regular one on right now. All right, we're good. It's testing the highs, 144.22, everybody. Can't close above it. Even look at that, look how strong, right, that push was. Okay. Now, weekly, long term, we still got a stochastic coming out of the buy zone. So ultimately, right, Euro strong. Definitely may see that continuation. Right? It's just a matter of, do we want to correct a little deeper first? Now we've turned over, we've created a new high on the daily. Okay. Throw that in there. All right. Okay. Didn't hit that D extension. Got a pullback less than a 382. Stochastic in the sell zone. Maybe we push sideways. Maybe we push sideways. Maybe we break through that 142.29. Okay. That's your daily. Here's your 4. All right, it's just hovering. Brian, what you think?
I'm looking short here. We might get another push to the upside to retest that weekly 144, 226. So might get one more push up to retest that and give us this nice crown pattern. But I'm looking short here. If we don't get a pullback, the weekend's going to be interesting. They said generally these interventions happen over the weekend. So it's low liquidity, they get the most bang for their buck.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see when that happens. But like I said, we might get one more push to the upside, and then I'm looking forward to turn over and press below that 142, 398. And if it does, and I'm looking at 141 as the next level. It breaks that 142 level.
141 even. Yep. I can dig it. So that's the key, right?
Yeah.
It held a couple times there. Yeah. Held a couple times there. So I'm with you. We get a break, definitely a continuation. So all right. You've been holding it short, I know, right? From top.
No, I didn't I didn't get back in that one off the top.
Okay.
I missed the entry on it. So I played on the 1 hour, I played the 80-20 back to the upside.
I gotcha.
I'm waiting to see. On the one, we got to swing high. It's just hovering right now. So I'm looking for entry opportunity to the short side. So I love for it. That's why I like for it to get back to the 142.
Yeah.
If it gets there, they give me the high price. I'm looking for to get short.
Got it. Well done, my man. All right, that's where we are. Be patient, see what we can get out of that EJ. All right. Euro NZD. Whew. Long, right? Look at that.
Man. Wow.
Key levels. All right. Danced around. Found some support and took off. Look at that. Just gonna go back and retest some areas. The euro is a bull right now. Look at that off the low. Oh, I missed your order. That's all right. That's all right. At least you had the play set up, which means you're in the right direction on that. Right, we didn't get much of a pull. We got 382 and then it just exploded, right? So that's not my zone either. Right? That's how it goes sometimes. So we're looking the extension back up to weekly resistance. Here it is on a 1. Look at that. Ooh. That's closing in on a 1 hour extension too. That's a 382 move right there. Strong. A lot of buying on that euro. But that's where we are. Got to finish out and form a new fib for us. It'll probably run into that weekly level to form a high after it hits the D extension. Questions? ABCD waves, some shallow, some deep. Appreciate it. Rocking and rolling. Let's hit this Euro USD. All right. All right, look at that. Try to find some support. Okay, sitting at that 99 level. Here's the daily. Just a little bit of everything right now. Okay. Just a little bit of everything. Moving sideways. Right. Moving sideways. Got this almost right. Okay. We're just above that dollar level. And then it pushed back down. But it's just ranging. This is one that I'm not playing at all. You in this range or no?
Nah. And this is another one I want to see a deeper pullback in order to give a clean opportunity on it.
Yep. So all of that, right, is just stemming from that CPI data. They gave that strong move to the downside. And I agree with you, waiting on that pullback, right? Just like how we have it drawn up. So just continue to be patient with that. See if you can get a high price to continue to look the short. But it's moving sideways, right? Because you got the dollar as a bull and so is the euro. So you get this, right? You didn't get that nice swing like you saw in some of the other pairs. Just moving sideways. Somebody's got to win. So hands off that Euro USD right now till we at least get another high price. Joy you got 25 pips on that. Joy is getting it done.
She is, man. She is. Yes, she is.
Jeremy, the relationship between the euro and the USD, right? It's the most heavily traded pair. But here's the thing: when you look at when you go back and you look at the dollar index, okay, so your dollar index is the dollar compared to your major currencies, but it is heavily weighted over 50% with the euro. So if you look at the euro dollar and look at the DXY, it's the same in reverse. You see that? Right.
I think the correlation on those two is something like, I want to say it's like 81 or 85% or something like that. It's extremely high.
Joyce, I don't want to miss like special. Yeah. So it's heavily correlated to the inverse, so you can see this move here. You're looking at the opposite, right? Kind of like that mirror type setup. Their image look. If you come back to the Euro USD, see it. Pretty much the same thing flipped. All right.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. So, Ryan, do you have any pairs that you are looking at in particular?
Right now, I'm just sitting tight, man. Waiting to see what happens with these dollar pairs. That Swissy pulled back and it's trying to push back to the upside. So I'm just sitting tight right now. I'm swinging a lot of those euros, CAD, Aussie. Waiting on the Swissy. And the yen crosses I'm short on, right? Pound yen, CAD yen, Swiss yen, and Aussie yen. Short.
Short on all of them.
And Aussie, yep, and I'm short on the Aussie CAD too.
Got it.
Yeah.
I can dig it. Sounds like a plan to me. I'm super focused on this pound Aussie. Because on the daily, right?
Yeah.
It's just been hovering for a while. And when I come to the 4, right, above the cloud on the 4, it seems like it's trying to work its way out of the zone. Struggling, right? But I wonder if we can get this break above this 170, 132. If we can get a good swing.
So I got a question. Because of the pair, so I started closing out a lot of my pairs this week after the GJ conversation. But I started noticing, like, the reference when they say the 200 touch and everything. So when it's coming down to the cloud and I know when the lines start running parallel, that's constant. That's consolidation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would be the indicator to say if so say like right now there's no twist right now. What would be my indication for me to hold the trade if it's going to touch that outer line and come back? If you know what I'm saying, like
you probably look for.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you probably look for another TK crossover.
Okay.
TK, it'll cross over again. So you're talking about if it comes to the bottom of your cloud?
Yeah, if it just come to the I ain't got my reading glasses on, but like the bottom line of the TK cloud, and I don't.
Oh, that Keaton right here.
Not the cloud right there, the bottom line, the bottom line.
So this right now, you got a crazy twist going on. So that's your single span. I can't get the color on that. That might be
I can't see the color because the thing is, I started noticing like when it goes in consolidation that when it twists, I can see the because that's how I got mine set up how yours did, so I can see the distinctive of the colors of the lines. And sometimes it might be a red cloud, but my green line is. I want to say the green line was on top of this one. It was like weird, and I don't know if it was Smart Trader, if it was me. But it looked like it was a green line on top of a red cloud. And then I was like, well, maybe the price is supposed to push down. The intentions the price is supposed to push down to the red line, which was coincidentally at the bottom, but I had a green cloud. No, I'm sorry. The red line was at the top, but it was in the green cloud. I'm sorry. It was a red line, it was a green cloud, and it was just weird. So I didn't know if it was Smart Trader or not.
Yeah, it's just moving sideways in consolidation. That cloud underneath this fib is a green cloud, so that's a single span A that's running across the top. But that's just telling you that it's moving sideways right now, and you got a thin cloud, right? So there's not much resistance there. So what you may end up getting, right, is kind of like that.
I did that. Okay.
Right?
I did that. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You may get that Gartley effect on that before it continues long, if that's what it wants to do, but it's still, you got everything moving through price right now. I just saw that break above it, and I know we've got a cloud up ahead that's bullish. And I just know overall from the daily, it's just been sitting at the lows at that 80-20 zone for a while, and I know I see this Aussie dropping off a bit. So, I'm keeping it on my radar because it may be due to move to the upside.
Now, what the other thing I was trying to test whether or not how long price stay above and below the 230. What's that? The 236. What's that line right there? The where the right there on the 236. Now, if price is above it or below it for some period of time, is that also a prediction of where price is headed?
No, you're just moving sideways. Sideways. That's all. Yeah.
Okay.
Nope. No. You got this 4-hour level there though. That that's a key, right? You got to pull back. Can I get a break above that 4-hour level? To see if it wants to continue long. But it's a 50% pullback, almost a 61.8. But it's just moving sideways right now. It was moving pretty good in a positive earlier, but now we're in an Asian session. It's moving slow. So we'll see. We'll see what happens to it. But I know I got that on my radar because it's just one of those things, right? I drip a small position in, and before you know it, it's like some of those Euro pairs where they just take off. Right? Can't predict the timing of it, right? But we can just put ourselves in the best position, highest probability. Yep.
I took my stochastics off, so that's the reason why I'm a little off.
It's all right. It's all right. There's plenty of people who trade without it. You're all right because you're in the right zone. You're in the right zone. So that's it. So I want to take a look at this pound cap. Because we're in a situation where it may be ready at some point to retrace as well, because on the daily, you can see how it's starting to pull back a little bit, right? It's pulling back, But this key level, I don't know if it's going to break that though. We're in a still sell zone with this stochastic, so we'll continue to watch the oil price. I don't think that's quite ready yet. But what I wanted to show you guys is what I'm waiting on. Okay, on this is, can we get a break? Right, we had this tag for a while as a major level, and it broke below it. So now we're waiting to see if it can hold, right, and we get a breakout above it so it can break this trend line and move to the top side. So the pounds are just kind of in that situation on a lot of pairs where, you know, besides the yen, where it's this, hey, we're in a situation where it's coming into those major lows, just like the euros. At some point, price likes to reverse. You know, even though the ultimate move long term would be bearish, okay, because of what's going on fundamentally with the pound. But there just comes time where it's time for buyers to come into the market and price corrects, right? They always need a higher price to continue to get short. Everybody wants to short at the highest price. Need those buyers to come in and buy it up. So those are the levels that we like to focus on. This here on this pound switch, right, is just continuing to short. Right, it snapped that level, so we're looking for pullbacks and continuations, right, potentially on that. Okay, so that might be due for a reversal for breaking that low. If you look at the cloud here on the 4, it's still hovering below that cloud. Okay, right, still hovering, but we're in an 80-20 zone. Okay, guys, see that? We're in that 80-20 zone. So you got a daily, right, stochastic that's in the buy zone. We got a 4-hour stochastic that's heading into the buy zone. So these are how you start to map out opportunities for the future. Okay, maybe next week, right? Maybe the week after, but at some point, price will give us a reaction. Right? It's only stay bearish for so long before they like to correct. All right. So that's it. That's all I have right now for tonight, everybody. I know we went through a lot of pairs fast, but I wanted to make sure that we covered some major ones. Any questions? Before, you're welcome. Any questions before we log off for tonight's session?
No, sir.
No. All right. Well, hopefully everybody's just taking it all in. I'm confused to, you know what, out of somebody. Ryan, anything to add before we close out?
No, man, just keep being patient, right? Keep being patient. Keep allowing the trades to come to you. If you're still going through the training, or if you need to go back and refresh on something, don't hesitate to do it, right? That's why we have those recorded for you to continue to be able to go back to, right? There's still times that I go back and I review things. Even with Benny and I talking multiple times a day, right? I'll still go back and review, and Benny does the same thing. So if you need to go back and get a refresher, go back and get a refresher, right? Give yourself permission to continue to evolve and continue to learn, right? You got to give yourself permission to do that. It's okay. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey, thanks for hanging in there. We went through a lot of pairs. Everybody have a wonderful evening and enjoy your Friday. Good night.
Good night.